God, it's Monday. It's Monday, June 8th, early morning. I'm in the dungeon trying to get a quick workout before my day. Hope everybody's remaining safe with so much going on in our country, pandemic, civil unrest. I have been kind of busy as well as kind of quiet, but I wanted to make sure I shared the interview with you from when I did Focus Media TV in New York City back in March, right before the world shut down. So I wanted to make sure I put that interview online for you guys to see. It will also go on the Grindcast podcast as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys are focused. Don't let everything, we need to be concerned with everything that is going on in our world because it affects us. But at the end of the day, don't let it deter you from your ultimate goals. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're going for, whatever you're shooting for, whatever you're working for, we can work towards peace and help the issues that are affecting our civil unrest. But you also got to be still working on what's going on in here and what you have set and what you've already been destined to do. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to y'all soon.
Good evening and welcome to Beyond Focus TV. This is Kay, and tonight I have a very special guest, Mr. Justin Hall. He's a motivational speaker and an author. We're going to get to know about Mr. Justin Hall tonight.
Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered.
I'm back, Beyond Focus TV, and sitting next to me is Justin Hall, author and motivational speaker. Justin, good evening.
Evening.
Welcome to Beyond Focus TV.
Thank you.
All
Glad
right.
to be here.
I'm glad you're here. And I was reading a little bit about you, but I'll give that opportunity, of course, to you to tell us all about yourself. But first, let me ask you a little bit about your background, Justin. Who is Justin Hall?
Well, the grindpreneur, that's what I go by. Entrepreneur that is constantly on the grind and trying to show others about, it's not always going to be the easy route. Sometimes you have to work your regular job and another job and sacrifice and scrimp and save in order to extend and get to that next level. And I show people if an ordinary person such as myself can grind and do it, anybody else can do it as well.
Fair enough. That's
Yes.
right. You have to grind. And you know what? We have bills to pay.
Exactly.
We don't have time to waste.
Exactly.
And I was reading a little bit about you. And what I like about you is you have written a couple of books. Very interesting books that you have written. And one that pulled my attention was one that you said for the kids called Kidpreneur.
Yeah, Kidpreneur.
I like that.
So what I did was focus on several different children.
Yes.
One young lady had a lemonade stand and took that from regular lemonade to setting up at 10 years old, setting up at different venues to online ordering. Another young man literally had a studio within his bedroom and started charging all of his friends to come and rap.
That's interesting.
And turned that into, he's making more than some adults. So, it's to show kids that it's there and to show kids that they can begin at any age. And also not to take away, and it's also to show that school is needed.
Yes, definitely.
They all needed math. They all needed reading skills. It's not something I want to everybody to say, well, at 11 years old, I can just drop out of middle school and get a job. No, you're going to need those tools that you use within school.
That's right.
Now, maybe college isn't necessarily your route.
Yes.
But some form of learning is.
It definitely is.
There's all kinds of entrepreneurs that didn't necessarily graduate from college.
Right.
But I guarantee that they've learned more than most.
Okay.
Whether they're self-studies and with all of my books, with the Kidpreneur and What Do You Want to Do, I tell people that the tools are out there.
The tools are there.
I installed a dishwasher watching 30 minutes worth of YouTube videos and figured out how was I going to put in my new dishwasher and not pay for somebody. The tools are out there now.
Yes.
In 2020, there's no excuse why you can't learn anything.
You're right about that.
If you have a smartphone, which I tell most people, on your average smartphone today, there is more technology in there than there was in the Apollo 11 space shuttle that went to the moon in 1969.
Right.
So there's no excuse.
No excuse. So would you say it's fair to say that what inspire you is just looking around and seeing the things that people would sit back and say, oh, I can't do, or, oh, this is too hard. And what inspire you is probably to say, listen, you can do this. The tools are there. Pay attention, read, and follow the instructions. You can do what you want to do. Because that was one of the books as well.
Yes.
Yes, I was reading a little bit of it, and it was quite interesting. Because I also sit back at times and be like, oh, I can't do this. Because I'm very bad at technology. Really bad. And you know what? I sat down one day, and I literally was reading the instructions, following the instructions, and I was able to get out of that little, mess that I was sitting there thinking I wasn't able to do. So that's very interesting that you're able to write these books so that people can read and know that they're able to do what they think they can't do. And for the kids as well.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
That's why the title is, what is it? What do you want to do?
What do you want to do?
It's out there. So the world is at your fingertips.
That's right.
We are living now. I know things can be rough.
Yes.
And I know sometimes the political climate or social climate can get you down. But at the end of the day, you are living in the best era and best time possible.
True.
So you have tools that your ancestors and you have tools that your parents couldn't even dream of having. And so anything you want to do essentially can be done. My goal is, when I work with people, if you tell me you want to go to the moon, I say, great, how do we get there? Let's figure it out. Because there's literally a way to figure it out how we're going to get you to where you want to go. It might not be easy.
Right.
It may be easier if you had a parent that left you six figures to start what you want to do, but it's possible.
It is.
It definitely is.
Yes, it is. And it's that mindset that you're giving people to know, listen, you don't have to have $1 million.
Yes.
You just need to know how. And there you come in by showing people how.
Yes.
And that's that's the main thing of your job, is to show us how to do it.
Exactly. Show you how.
Show
whether I'm speaking or coaching people one-on-one.
Right.
I am very good at minute tasks. I am very good at paperwork and things. So I can show you how I've learned to do these things.
Right.
How do you get an LLC? How do you get a tax ID number?
Right,
these things are there. I have had a young lady that came to me and said, hey, I'm starting my business. I need a federal tax ID. I went online. This company charged me $300 to do it.
Right.
And I said, well, it's absolutely free. You shouldn't pay anybody. But people just don't know. If you don't know, you just don't know.
It is interesting you say that.
If your parents didn't have a small business, or you just may not know. So that's where I try to come in and say, look, these tools are there.
Right.
You just got to know. You got to put forth the effort.
Yes.
It may mean that when you get off your 9 to 5, and if you have children, you cook dinner and you spend time with them.
Yes.
It may mean that from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., you're back on your computer and working. You can literally run a business from your laptop, or really from your smartphone these days.
Oh, wow.
There are so many website builders. You could have a fruitful e-commerce site that you run all off your cell phone, and you drop ship something from Amazon. You never even see the product or store it, and you can make a good living or sustain what you're doing, or add for just the effort. And I don't want anybody to believe it's going to be easy, because it's not going to be easy. It's going to be work. It's always work. It's a job, and it may come easier to other people.
Yes.
But
if you put in the time and effort, it's
It
there.
won't happen.
And not being frustrated, and not only telling people they can do it, but
Right.
you can't be scared.
No.
It's gonna be
No.
gonna be fearful. You're gonna be frightened. It's gonna suck. You're gonna be scared. You're gonna have a lot of lonely nights. You're gonna have people telling you it can't be done, but
That's
it can
so true.
be.
But it can be.
But it can be.
Interesting. And that's what we a lot of people have what is called that fear in them.
Yeah.
Always just, oh, I don't want to try it. I don't know how it is. Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And you know what? I like the fact that that's your job, which where you come in and say, listen, don't be scared. It's going to be tough, but you can do it. We're going to come back to Justin and some more conversation with him and his interesting book, as well as a motivational speaker. We'll be right back with Beyond Focus. Justin Hall is here. So we're back, guys, on Beyond Focus TV. My special guest is Justin Hall. We just left off speaking about the fact that don't be scared of anything. Go for it. And Justin is going to continue his conversation with me in why you should just go for whatever you want to go for. Justin, a little bit more about that. And tell me, where have you been so far, like some of the places or people you've spoken to, and have you seen any results from this? Like, you know, how you would speak to a group of people, someone would come up to you and say, thank you, Mr. Justin, because of you, I did that and I never thought I could. So give us some more information and insight on that.
I do see, I see that through groups all the time. I live in Atlanta, so 4 years ago, amongst the other things, I started a small clothing brand, fitness apparel, and we definitely had a great rise. And then we had essentially a major lawsuit came against us. Long story short, about it was a trademarking issue that we fought and won, but it essentially bankrupted us and took away some of that fire. But I show people it can be done, that the little guy such as me can win and do something like that. So showing that, and then that motivation, knowing that so many other people are looking at me, forced me to essentially get back up, keep it going, keep it pushing. So from what I've learned from that, the mistakes you can make, with apparel, I started a monthly speaking group called The Business of Fashion. And so from The Business of Fashion, I help people to come in and have fashion questions. And from writing my book, I started how to write your book.
Oh.
So a lot of my courses were free, and then they've morphed into paid
I like that.
all-day
I
courses.
like that.
Yeah.
How to write your book, and while you're writing a book.
Yes, while I'm writing a book. So, and what happened was my wife now, but girlfriend and fiance at the time, when we met, she had a passion to write, and she almost had a book that was complete. And she's like, there's no way someone like me can just put out a book. And I said, why not? If you have the story, you've done it.
Yes.
And it's good. Let's put it out there. So we completed the book, found an editor, found a publisher, worked with a publisher that ended up self-publishing, put it out, started booking speaking gigs. Like, it's there. And that's what I tell, and that's what I show people in my classes that want to write a book. It's there. You can self-promote yourself. You can set your own travel. You can go to, if you wrote a book on dog grooming, there is probably 50 dog shows we can get you in front of and figure out how to speak. It's just, you got to put in the legwork.
You got to put in the work.
It's there. And so my goal and what I take joy of is showing people those things. And I do have lots of people that come back, or I see the success. A lot of people I work with end up being more successful. Like, I'm helping them, and they leaped over me.
Leaped over you.
But that's fine. I
That's
want everybody to win. That's my goal.
Of course.
I go into each situation wanting you to win. I mean, there is enough out there for all of us.
For everyone.
If you win, that doesn't take anything away from me.
From you.
And I always heard the great motivational speaker Zig Ziglar. The great Zig Ziglar always said, if you want something out of life, help as many people get what they want out of life, and that will help you
And
get
that
to
would
where
help
you want
you.
to be.
Just to touch on that too, and go back a little bit. When did you discover you had and people would, so where the sentence people always would say, you had the gift for gab. When did that come about? Like, at what age, or when did you say to yourself,
Yeah.
I think I have the gift for gab?
As a elementary school age,
Yes.
3rd, 4th grade, my I had to deal with my mother. Everybody in my family is kind of a late person, late owl, and she used to let me stay up. And I'm dating myself when I say this, but the Johnny Carson monologue,
Yes.
because we're 2 people past Carson now with
Right.
Jimmy Fallon, but the Carson monologue, which is the opening of his show, he comes out, essentially it's a stand-up. He does 8 minutes, and so after I watched that at 11:30, I had to go to bed.
Right.
But I would watch that and memorize it, and the next day I would say it to the teachers. And my mother was a teacher, so I would be at school early, and I would be in like the teacher lounge.
Oh, okay.
And back then it was all Reagan and Bush jokes and Iran Contra, but I realized I could make people laugh and kind of hold court, and get their
yes,
attention. And I
yes.
realized I could speak to anybody, because I realized I could make kids laugh, and I could make teachers and adults laugh
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
And so that kind of
Started
sparked
from
the
there.
bug of wanting
Yeah.
to be in front of people and speak and
Yes. Yes.
talk. Yes.
And there's been quite a few motivational speakers out there. We've known, of course, some of the famous ones.
Yeah.
We've known of Malcolm. We know quite a few names.
Yeah.
And this is something that you're in now, as the present time,
Yes.
Justin Hall. What would you say is a little different about you, or what makes you a motivational speaker that everybody would want to listen to? What do you come with?
Yeah, well, I think part of my story that I tell people is as late as 4 or 5 years ago, 2014, that's 6 years ago, I was working with other entrepreneurs. I was actually running a comedy club in Atlanta. It was one of the biggest clubs, and I worked with the owner. And so,
What's the name of that club?
The Atlanta Comedy Theater, actually.
Oh,
and
the
then
Atlanta Comedy
they
Theater.
have
Okay.
Punchline. So,
Yes.
so working with some of those, and I realized too that I was getting paid very little, and I was booking talent. I was flying people in from all around the world and writing big checks to,
Right.
and managing. Essentially, a comedy club essentially is a restaurant and bar, so you're managing a restaurant
Yes.
as
yes.
well. And I would implement ideas that would take off
Right.
and generate the club tens of thousands of dollars. And so this person and the people I work with say, well, I have another friend that runs this business, Justin. They like what you're doing here. Can you speak to them? So I would speak to them and help them with their company. And I realized that I was essentially making pennies on the dollar, helping people that were making lots of money.
Lots of more money.
So
yes.
I would, and up until recently, I still consult for another larger company, which you may call almost a 9 to 5, but I can relate to the guy that's trying to start his lawn care business because I was there.
Yes.
I had to get up and go to work every day.
Right.
I had to, when I got off I worked 2 jobs. To pay for my first fashion line, I worked a 9 to 5. Then I drove Lyft and Uber at night to put aside that couple $1,000 to put it. So I can relate. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have to do whatever it takes.
We're gonna hold on that.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna come back with more. Sitting with Justin Hall, author and motivational speaker, and I'll tell you the conversation is getting more interesting. We're going to be back. Beyond Focus TV, my guest, Justin Hall. We'll be right back. So we're back. As I said, we left off with Justin Hall, motivational speaker and author, giving us an insight of why he is the person you need to listen to when he's out there giving his motivational speech and also reading his interesting books. Justin, you just left off by telling me how much you'd helped a company and seeing them grow while you're still making pennies on the dollars.
Yes.
And I think maybe that's probably what kind of maybe pushed you even more to say, you know what, I'm going to step outside that box and just let people know that they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, make some more money.
Make some more money.
Exactly.
Because I honestly, getting started, leaving college 15 years ago, I never thought I was going to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
I graduated college. I worked for some big companies. I worked for... Oh, sorry.
I want to cut you right there. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are so used to the word entrepreneur, and I'm going to introduce you to a word. And if you can take a look on Justin's shirt, because I want to make sure I spell it correctly, it's grindpreneur. So I want to tell all of you out there that are entrepreneurs, please to make note of the new name, grindpreneur. I like it. I like it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and for the kids, it's kidpreneur. So Justin, tell me a little bit about this name, grindpreneur. How did this come about?
Grindpreneur because I was always grinding. I had the executive grind, was one of my first companies, and
Yes.
constantly grinding because I had entrepreneurial aspects in companies that were doing all right, but it was still a grind. I still might have to get up in the middle of the night and work another job.
Yes.
I've worked the craziest jobs you can think of
Right.
to fund other things.
Yes,
And sometimes
yes.
people are scared to do that.
Right.
I've worked at UPS overnight hauling boxes. I once worked in a chicken factory sucking the guts out of chicken. I worked in the lottery factory where they do the scratch offs because that was overnight. So I could focus on my other things and then work throughout the night and then
Yes.
be up during the day and take a quick nap and go to work.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to do that. And unfortunately people are sometimes scared or they
Yeah.
just don't want to, but if you want it bad enough, you're willing to grind
I
for
tell
it.
you what, and that could not be any more fitting for what you just said for
Yeah.
that word grindpreneur. You
Exactly.
are truly a grindpreneur.
Oh, thank you.
Justin, tell everybody where we can find you.
So
Social media, everywhere to find
all
you.
of my social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is at Grindpreneur, GRINDPRENEUR, at Grindpreneur. My website where you can sign up for coaching or get any of my books is grindpreneur.org. You can find me there. Also executivegrind.com. That is my host for all of my companies, the fashion, everything. But yeah, at Grindpreneur on everything. I do answer DMs. I do answer requests from my website. My goal is to help a lot of my courses, especially if you're in the Southeast or in Atlanta. A lot of the things I do are free.
Yes.
A lot of my workshops are because it's just to help you get started.
Yeah.
It's not always to make money. It's to show people what's there. So I always invite people to come out to one of my Saturday lectures. And now as we're traveling more,
Yes.
where we are going to be in Delaware soon. We're
Right,
gonna
I was
be
just
in-
about to ask
yeah.
you, where will Justin be next? So that, my viewers are out there can know, hey, Justin is going to be here.
Yeah.
We got to go out and see him. Where are you
So
going to be
we'll
next?
be in March. We'll be in Columbus,
Oh, it's
Ohio.
coming up soon.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
5th and 8th. We will be in Rhode Island in April, or excuse me, Delaware. April, I think 11th. You can find all this on grindpreneur.org.
Yes.
But and then over the summer we're starting to book dates now because as the book is going into print
Yes.
next month, we're setting the book tour.
Any dates set for New York? I want to come out to you, man. I want to
We're
hear
working-
everything
we're,
about
We're
it.
working on New York. I'll
Ah.
just speak to you guys.
You're sitting here with me and you're not
Yeah.
in New York yet?
Yeah, we're gonna be there. I should have been here this week since I was
Oh,
here,
of course.
but we're
right.
gonna be there. So
Definitely.
we have a lot of things coming up. We're traveling. One small thing I've been working on the last 2 years, almost finished. I've been shooting a documentary called "No, It's Vitiligo." Vitiligo is a autoimmune system affecting the pigment in your skin. There's 1% of Americans have it.
Yes,
and it's
yes.
across all races and genders.
Yeah.
So we're traveling around and speaking to people, and that was
Yes.
one of the things because just I've never felt that way, but I encounter
Mm-hmm.
so many people with whether it's vitiligo or albinism. They are afraid to do the little things
you
that we take
speak on that as well.
we
Very
speak on that.
interesting.
So
Yeah,
that's
very
really
interesting,
helped,
yeah.
and so we'll be doing that this summer as
Okay.
well.
Yes,
So
yes.
my goal this year, and we started back in August. From August to August, my goal was to reach 1 million people.
Oh.
And so we're hoping to do that. Whether you come see me speak, whether it's a view on YouTube,
Yes.
whether it's on the website, whether you read my blog or my daily or my weekly blog on YouTube, it's to reach 1 million people this year. So 1 million views, whether you see me in person or you're one of the 300 people that come out to our workshops.
Yes.
I want to see 1 million people and help them grow this year, and that's
Beautiful.
that's the goal.
Beautiful. And you're going to get there, Justin.
Yeah, I
you know
hope so.
why? Because you're doing this with a true passion.
Yes.
You're doing this with a true passion. And that's the difference when you really love what you do and you really love to help people. It will happen.
Yeah.
You know, it will
Exactly.
happen. And I could see it. I
Yeah.
can see it because I could see that this is something that is, what you've always loved to do. As you mentioned, as a kid growing up, you would always be talking and getting people to do things. And this is what you took to where you are right now. So you'll get there. And more than 1 million. Do we have zillions? There's something called zillions, right?
Yes.
I think we want to go zillions.
Yes. I'm good with that.
That is so awesome. I really, really applaud you and your books. Real quickly, where can we get your books?
Grindpreneur.org.
Oh, okay, grindpreneur.org.
And we're waiting for this interview to happen, but we're going to start releasing the links to the books on all my social media.
All right.
So at Grindpreneur,
Uh-huh.
like I said, everything from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You find me there on all of those sources.
Oh, awesome. Is your phone number there? Are people able to call you as well?
You could,
What if you have someone
direct message me.
Direct message you.
And it's weird. We're about to move into office space. So once
Yes,
we have
yes.
our office space.
And this is
we
in
have-
Atlanta.
This is in Atlanta.
Oh, I've been to Atlanta so many
Okay.
times. Where in Atlanta? Where are you in Atlanta?
I am Decatur.
No, you're not.
It's greater.
Been
Yes.
to Decatur a few
Yeah, okay,
times.
yeah. And we're moving our offices to West Midtown Atlanta.
Oh,
so
okay.
we'll be there. So people will be able, the goal is to have coaching facilities, essentially
Yes.
a shared workspace
Yes.
where people could come in and work for the day and get, get different lessons and get different things. So
You
once
guys
we're there,
listen, yes.
and stay tuned because we're
Yes.
showing all that on my weekly blog as we've been
Yes.
looking at real estate and all these different things. So once we're there, people will definitely be able to pick up the phone and reach out to myself or reach out to one of our staff and get in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Hall. That's it for Beyond Focus TV tonight. My guest, Justin Hall. You guys hear where you can find him on all his social site. And don't forget to watch Beyond Focus TV every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. on major cable TV network. All right, we'll see you guys again at Beyond Focus TV. Thank you for watching.
Beyond Focus TV show wants and needs your feedback. Did we blunder? Please let us know so we can improve. Was the show helpful to you? Drop us a note so we can share the success with our staff members. Is there something you think we could do better? We welcome new ideas and new approaches to old ideas. Do you have a great suggestion? Let us know and we'll work on it. If you would like to share your comments anonymously, please send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. If you want to get in touch with the executive producer directly, send him an email at gene@beyondfocusmedia.com. We really look forward to hearing from you.